What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here and back here with another episode of the Premier League SPUR-SPECTIVE, the second last episode of the season. And the scores on the doors right now are 111 to Simeon, 123 to myself, with one game week left to play. Just a reminder, it's 1 point for a correct result, 5 points for a correct scoreline. And yeah, shall we get into it, Sim?
Let's do it.
You happy with the way you went this weekend? No comment. All right, as you can see, those are the fixtures that were played on the Tuesday and the Wednesday. Let's start off with the Manchester United Fulham game. The game finished 1-1. I went 3-0 to Man United. Simeon went 4-0 to Man United, but it did finish 1-1, so neither of us getting a point there.
Yeah, what a goal by Cavani, though.
Yeah,
one of the goals of the season.
Like, what was it, 35-yard chip or
Probably
something?
Probably even further out.
Yeah.
Like, unbelievable chip over Areola's head. And pretty much a few days after, he just signed a new contract as well. So I think he's going to be a strong player for them next season. I think he's really ended the season very, very strongly for Man United. So I do think they won't be going for Kane, just because I think they've given him a new contract, and I don't know if they think it's worth it splashing out over 100 million on a new striker when they have Cavani.
I personally believe there's only one place Kane wants to go, and that's Man City. I don't think Man United's even an option. I think that he wants to go somewhere where there's guaranteed success, and that's Man City.
100%, I agree with that. And they drew 1-1, but it was a nothing game. Obviously, both Fulham already relegated. Man United already sealed second place, so fair play to Man United. But did you see the goal? Like, could have been offside. Do you think it could have been offside?
Yeah, I mean, there was.
Very
I think
strange.
It was offside to be. I think it was,
Yeah, because I don't think Bruno touched it. Bruno even admits after the game he doesn't think he touched it.
Yeah, I know. So I'm not sure what VAR are playing at there, but
they said VAR said it was inconclusive whether he touched it or not. So they decided not to overturn the decision. So I thought they got away with that one, but you know what? You can't take away anything from that goal from Cavani.
That finish was absolutely sublime. But let's move on. The next game was Southampton against Leeds. Leeds winning 2-1 at Southampton. Leeds winning 2-0. I went 2-1 and you went 3-all. You went for a crazy one there. So I gain a point on you there. So that is 124 to 111. Did you see much of this one?
No, but Leeds' end of season form continues to impress, doesn't it? Another win on the board. They've added remarkable consistency to their end of season as well. So fair play to them. Clean sheet as well. And I think Danny Ings didn't play, so that might have contributed to that. But you've got to say, Leeds ending the season very, very strongly.
Yeah, and not only that, but they've really shored up the defence over the last 2 months. And, people were saying at the beginning of the season, Bielsa, he only plays one way, doesn't care about the defence and what have you. But he seemed to have proved people wrong.
Yeah, and they're proving they really are the fittest team in the league.
That's for sure, yeah. Let's move on. Brighton against Manchester City. 3-2 to Brighton.
I got the 3-2 part right.
You got the 3-2 right, but you went 3-2
right
to Man City. I went 4-0 to Man City, so I was completely wide off the mark. But look, credit to Graham Potter and credit to Brighton.
Yeah, obviously they went 2-0 up, didn't they? Did you see Foden's goal? Absolute worldy of a goal. Worldy of a goal. And it proves as well that he's not, obviously he's got silky feet and he's like, his movement in and around the box is incredible, but he's also got a turn of pace. Driving from the halfway line to finish it like that was very, very impressive.
The thing is with that goal, I was impressed with Foden. And look, it was a brilliant goal, but I think people are overplaying it a bit too much because I felt that it was poor defending by Brighton, big time.
Yeah, it was, but for Foden, for a player who isn't known for his pace, to be able to hold off a couple of defenders like that from the halfway line and continue into the box and finish it was extremely impressive.
I felt they just kept backing off him.
They did. It wasn't the best defending, I'm not going to lie, but it's still a very impressive goal by Phil Foden.
It reminded me of that goal Thierry Henry scored against Spurs. Do you remember? With the one that everyone talks about?
Yeah, and no one made a challenge.
No one made a challenge the whole way from basically their own penalty box to our own penalty box, and Spurs players just backing off, and basically parting like the Red Sea.
Yeah.
And that's what happened on the weekend
as well.
Yeah,
but then again, you've got to say Foden made them do that in a way. So, I thought was a class goal.
I'm not saying it's not a class goal, but I'm saying I think it's just being overplayed a bit too much.
Maybe. Well, no one's calling it goal of the season or anything, are they? But, you got to... I know... It was obviously down to 10 men. Cancelo got that red card. That was at 1-0.
I didn't see the red card, but apparently apparently it was a bit of a debatable one.
Yeah, it was a bit iffy, but I would say I think the referee gave the red. I don't think there was enough certainty that you could overturn the red card. But I think it was a bit of a harsh one, but I can understand why he gave it because it's goal scoring opportunity. And then Brighton did really well to come back, and come back for the win as well. With City not much to play for, obviously already league winners. These games always tend to throw up a few goals. So fair play to Brighton through overturning that deficit, and a couple of good goals as well. I thought the Trossard goal was really nice. He sold Diaz, I thought, really well for that goal, and a lot of people putting on social media, "Oh, is this your player of the year?" or something like that. And I was like, okay, calm down. But fair play to Brighton, and Potter was also having a good end to the season, isn't he?
Yes. Let's move on. Chelsea against Leicester finished 2-1 to Chelsea on the day in a fight for the top four, in a massive game in the fight for the top four. I went 1-0 Chelsea, you went 2-0 to Chelsea, so both of us getting a point there, which makes it 112 to 125. But yeah, massive result for Chelsea, wasn't it?
Yeah, and they deserved it as well. I thought Leicester took way too long to get into the game. Only really when Iheanacho came on, they were in the game, and it was only a matter of time, I thought, before Chelsea were going to take the lead. And I thought the penalty was was clumsy. I can't remember who gave it away. I think who gave it away was Fofana. I think it was Fofana. Yeah. I thought he was pretty clumsy for that, putting it in the box. And originally gave a free kick. Obviously, that sealed the second goal. And then only then did Leicester come out and play. And obviously, they pounced on a sloppy moment from Kovacic, and Iheanacho carried on his good end of season form with a really fine finish. But it was too little, too late at that point. They did have one big chance right at the end where Perez skied it over. But apart from that, Leicester deserved the loss. And yet again, looks like they're crumbling out of top four for a second consecutive season. But given they won the FA Cup, they'll probably go over it.
I don't know if they're going to crumble outside top four.
They will.
If they beat us this weekend, they've made it. No? They need Liverpool to drop points.
Yeah.
Oh, right. I didn't realise that.
Liverpool right now are fourth.
Oh, really? I thought Leicester were fourth.
No,
fifth.
Liverpool right now are fourth.
Oh, wow.
So they need... Well, to be honest, they're only fourth on goal difference, if I'm right. Yeah, goal difference. So Liverpool have 4 better goal difference at the moment. So, unless Leicester beat Spurs by 4 more goals than Liverpool beat Palace, they're not going to be in top 4 next season.
As Liverpool beat Palace 7-0 this season.
They did already. So look, I think they've crumbled again. Which is obviously a massive disappointment, but they did win the FA Cup. So I think Brendan will be upset that they've fallen out of top 4 for a second consecutive year after having another massive lead. But whether that convinces him to think if Spurs come in for him, he'll go there. I don't think so. Maybe, though. It gives us more of an opportunity to get him than them being in the Champions League.
Yeah, we'll see about that. I'm not too sure about that.
Because does he want to be... Look, obviously Spurs are not going to be in Champions League or Europa League next season. So he would have a season without European football. But after they didn't really take the Europa League seriously this year, did they? They kind of went out limply to Slavia Prague.
Well, they went out, but... they did play a weakened team, but I think they would have regretted that big time. Yeah,
exactly, especially how the season has ended. Yeah. They definitely would have regretted that. So
I think they would have regretted it straight away. I think they kind of went into that Slavia Prague game thinking it was going to be a walkover.
I wonder how they approach the game, approach Europa League next season, because I don't know. It must be difficult for Brendan to push on from this position. He might feel he's hit a ceiling.
I don't think so.
He might do, because he won the Cup, and 2 seasons in a row now, he's had big leads of top 4 and blown them twice. He might feel that. I don't know. He might do,
I think, if you add a couple of more signings there, a bit more quality to the team, you can push on, I think. But anyway, let's move on to Everton against Wolves, which finished 1-0 to Everton. You went 0-0, I went 1-0 to Wolves. So we both knew it was going to be low scoring, but none of us getting a point there. But what did you make out of this one?
Yeah, we obviously didn't watch it, but it was good win for Everton, who just keep their not Europa real hopes, but more Conference League hopes alive. If they win on the final day, although they are playing City, but... I guess if
City just lost to Brighton. So.
Yeah, but even if they draw, because we could very much lose to Leicester on the final day, so they're definitely going to be looking at the Conference League place and thinking it's definitely achievable. So it's a good win for them, and Richarlison getting on the score sheet.
Let them have the Conference League.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. I said if you give me 8th right now and Arsenal 9th, I'll take that right now. But look, it's a good win for them, and after a week of Ancelotti calling them out very publicly in the press, saying a lot of players, some players haven't given their all and need to work on their consistency and stuff like that. Very a la what Mourinho was saying, but it doesn't get the same press. But It was a good win for Everton.
Yeah, and finally getting a win at Goodison as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Newcastle against Sheffield United finished 1-0 to Newcastle. I went 2-0. You went 3-1 to Newcastle. So both of us gaining a point there. 113, 126. But yeah, Newcastle's end of season form carry on, but it was against Sheffield United.
It was, but Willock, I think 6 goals in a row. Apparently he's the youngest ever player to score 6 goals in a row in the consecutive games. Yeah, so impressive. And
very impressive from Joe Willock.
So Newcastle as well want to sign him up permanently, but apparently he's going to cost upwards of 20 million. So whether they stump up the cash isn't remains to be seen.
They did sign Joe Linton for 30, so
they did. That was more, I think, 40.
40, yeah, 40.
But yeah, look, he's been in a revelation since pretty much his scoring against us, hasn't he? I think that was his first goal. That started the run, and he's pretty
I
much
actually
never
think
stopped.
it came before then. I was saying, like, I was watching some Newcastle games and some highlights, and he was always arriving late in the box. He got a couple of goals before he played us, and I was impressed with him. I was really impressed with him in the build-up to seeing us play them, and I think he's been a really good player this season, even when he wasn't scoring.
Yeah, so fair play to Willock. He's taken his loan spell with grabbed it with 2 hands, and it looks like he might get a move next summer.
Let's move on. Spurs, Aston Villa. Obviously finished 2-1 to Aston Villa on the day. I went 3-1 Spurs. You went 3-1 Spurs. And yet again, Spurs let us down this season.
They do. For umpteenth time, and it looks like we've blown any chance of a Europa League spot now after the West Ham result. So it's damaging. Very damaging defeat for Spurs. So, I mean, what more can we say? Absolute shambolic performance. Talk about this game enough, haven't we?
Yeah.
Awful.
Let's move on. Let's move on. The next game is Arsenal Palace. Palace against Arsenal. It finished 3-1 to Arsenal. I went 2-1 to Arsenal and you went 1-1. So I gain a point on you there. 113 to 127 now.
I think we both can feel hard done by in this game.
Yeah.
Because because of 2 stoppage time goals. So 1-1, I feel like I was getting 5 points. Then they get a stoppage time goal. You're getting 5 points. And they get another stoppage time goal. None of us get 5 points. So a bit disappointed.
At least I get a point though. I'll take a point.
A lot of controversy though in this one because there are people saying Benteke should have been sent off and there should have been a penalty or something. I don't know. I didn't really see much of it. I only saw the goals. But
yeah, we were on the fan show at the time.
Benteke with carrying on his great form though with another goal. Apparently he's got 10 Premier League goals now this season.
Really?
Which is impressive. And he really has come on strong in the last few games. I think he scored in 4 or 5 games in a row now. So fair play to Benteke. He's come on strong, really strong in the last month of the season. And maybe he's looking to earn a move because he's out of contract in the summer. And as I said, if he was back up, Benteke at his best is a handful. He really is a handful. Even when he's not scoring, he's a player you don't want to play against because he's just so big and strong. He's so good at holding the ball up and winning flick-ons. And yeah, he's had a shocking part, like to be honest, like 3 years now. Like he's been struggling with injuries and whatnot. But if he is showing signs that he really is back to his best, I think a free transfer isn't a bad shout.
Yeah, well, Daniel Levy, that will be music Daniel Levy's ears,
exactly.
Won't it?
Kane for 100 million and then Benteke on a free.
Exactly. Burnley against Liverpool. It finished 3-0 to Liverpool. I got it absolutely spot on with 3-0 to Liverpool. You went 1-0 to Liverpool. So that's 5 points to me, 1 point to you, and now that makes it 114, 132. Simeon is slipping and sliding away. It looks as though, you might be out of sight maybe for the end of the season now.
Not at all. Loads of games to play for.
Loads of games, yeah, loads of games.
Loads of points to play for.
Yeah.
There's 50 points to play for.
When's the last time you got a 5-pointer?
Last time? Can't remember.
Anyway, 114, 132.
I'm going to have an Aguero moment on the
Yeah, we'll see about that. And Liverpool absolutely trying to get that Champions League spot and in 4th place now.
Well, look, they've taken the ascendancy. Very impressive win. It was, from what I saw from the highlights, it seemed like a very hard-fought victory for them, even though the scoreline makes it look like 3-0. At 1-0, I believe Burnley had a couple shots cleared off the line and it could have easily gone to 1-1. But fair play to Liverpool. They've come on, another team coming on strong when it matters, capitalising on Leicester's falling form, and there you have it. They've won 3-0, and their away form looks like it's going to be saving them this season because their home form was absolutely tragic for large parts, but they kept up their away form pretty much, and looks like they're going to be stealing that 4th spot, and that's exactly what we didn't need, to be honest. We didn't need. We really probably needed one of Chelsea or Liverpool to be dropping out for next season, and then hopefully they could be in there with us in out of top Europe's top competition.
Does it make a difference though?
I think it does make a difference because if Chelsea and Liverpool both seal it, it just seals that top four like shut. If Leicester are in there, it just means there might be some opportunity, I think.
What you mean for next season? I mean, I'm not even looking at the top four for next season. I mean,
we have to look at the top four.
We're in such disarray. How are we ever going to get in the top four next season? It's impossible.
How you could say that every year?
What, every year we're in disarray?
For the last 2 years. Like, no, in terms of every year you can say, oh, look at these teams, how are we going to get top four? But you never know. I'm saying if one of them drops out into Europa League, then there's more opportunity. But with both of them in the Champions League, it's shut.
I think the state of what this club is at, with the state of where Tottenham are at the moment, I mean, I just can't see it. Even if Chelsea or Liverpool will finish outside the top four, I'm not
saying if Liverpool, Chelsea finish out top four, we're definitely going to get top four. I'm just saying it's better for us if one of them do drop out. But
yeah, all right. Let's move on to West Brom, West Ham, the last game of the weekend. It finished 3-1 to West Ham. I went 2-1 to West Ham. You went 2-1 to West Ham. So that's a point each there.
Yeah, last minute goal again.
Yeah, 115 to 133 this week finishes at. But West Ham pulling through. I mean, after a bit of a dodgy form, I think they really needed the win this week to kind of get that Europa League spot, and they've done that.
I was watching the game, or watching parts of it anyway, and obviously they missed a penalty really early on, and then they went 1-0 down, and they were struggling for large parts, and they got a goal just before half-time, which I really needed. But at 1-1, West Brom were the better team. I was watching it. West Brom were much the better team at 1-1. And there was one chance when, I don't know if you saw it, they had a 2-on-1 situation with, I think it was Robson Kanu and Matt Phillips. And Phillips who was it? Robson Kanu has a chance to either square it to Phillips or take a shot, and he decides with a 2-on-1 situation, he decides to shoot and he hits Phillips with the shot and it goes out. And then obviously I think West Ham went up the other end a few minutes later and scored and made it 2-1 to them, and then made it 3-1 a few minutes later. So look, it's no surprise they won the game. It's a bit harsh on West Brom because I feel like past two games they've been played really well but haven't got anything to show for it, and that's unfortunate for them. But look, West Ham looks like they only need a point now on the final day, and that's Europa League.
Well, you never know. Southampton can do us a favour, and maybe we can do something.
They need a
win.
Leicester. We need West Ham to lose. Not even a draw is good enough for West Ham.
Yeah.
So it's so unlikely at this point, and we need to beat Leicester as well. We need West Ham to lose and us to win. So it's like you're looking at very, very small probabilities.
It's small, but last magic of the last game of the season.
These things don't happen to Tottenham on last day. We only get screwed over on the last day. That's the only thing.
Well, you say that, but we're kind of sometimes bring West Ham some bad luck. So maybe they'll be thinking.
When was the last time we didn't get we actually did something on the last day which didn't screw us?
I don't think that it's ever happened.
Like we actually overtook someone on the last day when we needed to.
I don't think it's ever happened. I can only remember flopping on the last day of the season.
Either we're chasing something and we win and the other team win anyway, or we're in the position and we lose and we flop it.
No matter who we're playing, do you remember that time when we needed to win or draw or something to get top four or to finish above Arsenal? And we played Newcastle.
Yeah, we're already relegated Newcastle.
And we were at Newcastle when around White Hart Lane, all the cheers start going because we think Arsenal go 1-0 down.
No, this was a different. No, that was a different year. You're mixing up a few years, but there was already relegated Newcastle.
What was that one when we started cheering?
That one was we needed Arsenal to drop points against Newcastle to get in the top.
Oh, they were against Newcastle.
They were against Newcastle. We were against Sunderland on the last day when Bale scored that last goal.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah. So exactly.
I'm not thinking about when we lost 5-1.
That was a different year. Yeah.
I'm not thinking about that one.
That was also another one where we won. That was to finish above Arsenal. Again, but
they were both to finish above Arsenal. But the one I was thinking about was like we're thinking, Newcastle have scored, and there was no goal.
There was just no goal. I don't know where it came from. I remember I wasn't actually watching it. I wasn't at the game. I was actually watching it on TV, and all the Spurs fans started cheering. I was like, oh my god! So I switched over the channel, and it's still 1-0. Like. Why? What's the cheering for?
I was there and I was cheering.
I was like, why is everyone cheering? And then, you see what Michael Dawson said after the game as well in his interview. He was like, we heard the Spurs fans cheering. We thought you'd done it with a last-minute winner because Bale scored in the last minute. They thought they'd got it. But it wasn't even a goal.
Classic Spurs. But anyway, that is the end of the Premier League Spurs-Spective. The scores at the end of this round are 115 to 133. Thank you, everyone, for watching this week. We're back for the Premier League predictions tomorrow, for the last Premier League predictions of the season tomorrow, where Simeon will have Will
18 points.
Simeon,
It's doable.
what's more chance? You finishing above me in this year's Spurs-Spective, or for Spurs to get top 6?
I reckon actually me finishing above you.
Well,
I think so. 50 points to play for, 18 behind. It's been done before.
has it? This is the first year of the Spurs-Spective.
I'm saying it's been done before. In the history of the Spurs-Spective, it's been done.
It's never been done. It's something that's never been done before. So good luck to you, Sim. Also, what I'm going to say, good luck to you. But look, that is the end of the Premier League Spurs-Spective this week. Check back tomorrow for the Premier League Predicts, the last one of the season. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.